This is your Under Southern Screens spoiler warning. We forgot to do one in the main episode, but if you haven't seen Peter Weir's 1975 film Picnic at Hanging Rock, we're watching it this episode, and yeah, we're going to be talking about the plot. We're going to be talking about how it ends. We're going to be talking about all those ladies and how they go missing. So yeah, if you haven't seen the film, watch it. It's good. Anyway, enjoy this episode of Under Southern Screens.
I am the Night Rider.
You're terrible, Muriel.
Talk to me.
You gonna do that pogo?
You've been talking to the cop. Today is a brand new day.
No, that's it. It's the vibe.
G'day, fellow Aussie film lovers, and welcome to another episode of Under Southern Screens, the most rocky Australian cinema podcast. I'm Mitch.
And I'm Matthew. Rocky. Well, okay, that's cool.
Na-na-na.
Oh,
Na-na-na.
well, it's like who did the Rocky theme? Who composed the Rocky
Danny
theme?
Elfman.
Danny Elfman.
He did.
I know it was Bill Conti who did the second
Alan
one. But
Silvestri? No, surely not.
Alan Silvestri? No. I think Rocky was a bit below Alan Silvestri's pay grade.
Oh,
But anyway, Mitch, I have a question for you before we start this amazing episode of
I
Under Southern
love
Screens.
questions. Please ask me one.
What was the last picnic you went on?
I think the last picnic I went on was with my ex.
Oh no. So this part might not be usable.
Yeah, cut it out.
That's okay. Let me tell you the last time I had a picnic.
Matthew, when was your last picnic?
My last picnic was in 2021 and it was in like mid-lockdown. It was like in between the lockdowns, and me and my friends, we found out that a Taco Bell had opened nearby us and we wanted to go try Taco Bell. And it was COVID quarantine, like easing restrictions type vibe. So we got Taco Bell in the park and ate Taco Bell. And watching our movie this week made me think of
About Taco
Bell. So thanks, Peter Weir. Thanks for that. I really appreciate
Peter
you know.
Weir.
Thanks, Peter Weir. Man, interesting movie that we're watching this week
Very
for USS.
Interesting movie. Kind of a lot going on. Kind of a hallmark of like Australian cinema.
Yeah, it marks like a new era. It is the new wave of Australian cinema.
Don't steal my notes.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
I have an intro planned. If you could like not take from that, please.
I'm so sorry. Mitch, what are we watching this week for Under Southern Screens?
Well, today we are watching Picnic at Hanging Rock. 1975's Picnic at Hanging Rock, starring Rachel Roberts, Dominic Gard, Helen Morse, and Jackie Weaver, and directed by Peter Weir. It is based on the 1967 novel of the same name by Joan Lindsay, which itself is based on pure fiction and did not happen in real life, much to the surprise of everyone who ingests this story.
Hey, hold on.
No, I wrote that before I read yours. I was like, oh no.
Dude literally stole my Letterboxd review. Talk about stealing stuff. Come on. Okay, it's tit for tat now. That's all right. Continue with your introduction, Mitch.
Picnic tells the tale of 4 young women and their teacher who disappeared while on a picnic at the infamous Victorian point of interest, Hanging Rock. The film is set on 14th of February, 1900, also known as St. Valentine's Day, which means this film mirrors my own Valentine's experience. That is, wandering off from the people who I was having a picnic with and scaring the crap out of them. Except it wasn't a picnic, it was a bush doof, and I didn't wander off, I just did too many nyangs and tried to punch the DJ in a wombat. Over the course of the film, the mysterious disappearance of the schoolgirls and their teachers haunt many in the local community, especially when one of the missing girls returns without a memory of what happened. Picnic at Hanging Rock was voted the best Australian film by a Victorian Centenary of Cinema Committee. It helped draw international attention to Australian New Wave cinema, a movement of Australian film that ushered in the Ozploitation film that went from the 1970s to the 1980s. It has been noted that Sofia Coppola borrowed heavily from Picnic when making The Virgin Suicides and Marie Antoinette, both movies I haven't seen. And Damon Lindelof, the dude who wrote Lost, said Picnic greatly influenced the second season of The Leftovers, a show I haven't watched.
Firstly, can I just say I've not seen either of those things either. So like I think it's great that we have literally no like frame of reference for what this film
We've
is
watched
or
the
represents.
original. We've watched the original.
We've watched the OG, and look, I'm so happy that I did. I thought this film was really good.
What a shock.
Yeah, shock horror. This film that everyone says is great.
The film that was
quite
voted
good,
the
actually.
greatest Australian film of all time is actually apparently really kind of good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I think just how alternative it is in not only obviously its aesthetics and its sound, but like in terms of its performances. And yeah, I thought it was just a really fun watch overall. I mean, Mitch, in terms of like the source material and like what this film represents, what was your experience going into this?
Picnic's obviously, it's been a blind spot in my film knowledge for a while now.
Yeah.
I'd say it ranks up there with Mad Max, and that's kind of it. Like with like most famous Australian films, like Mad Max is the fun, crazy thing Australians make, and then Picnic's the good, well, not that Mad Max is bad, but Picnic's like the good movie that Australians made.
This is the artsy Australian fare, I guess, that shows that we're not just car crashes and Crocodile Dundee. And I think it really does excel at creating a mood, this film, like just right out of the gate.
There's vibe. There's serious vibe throughout this film.
Vibe check, vibe.
Vibe check, vibing. It's weird and wacky. It feels like it's edging towards horror. And I read somewhere that this is kind of considered a horror romance, but I think I'd have to disagree with that.
I don't know about that. Whoever said that
is an idiot I'm glad, and stupid and dumb.
I hate them. Read texts differently, bro. But no, like I feel like this is more of like a thriller, I would say. That would be my bet.
It's like an introspective, existential thriller.
Yeah. I wasn't actually expecting that going in. I was expecting it to be how these women got lost at the fabled Hanging Rock.
Also, like it follows them.
Yeah, so it follows them throughout the movie and how that happens. I was not expecting the whole movie to be talking about the aftermath of these disappearances and how people would actually react to it. And honestly, I kind of preferred this interpretation, as weird as it is to say. It just adds for more nuance.
It's interesting because watching it, I think I knew what this movie was going in. I wasn't shocked to find out that it wasn't following the girls the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was able to prepare myself to not be satisfied with the resolution of the mystery, because there is none. I don't know. I guess you could say that maybe the spirits of the rock called to these people, maybe.
It's like characterizing
a rock.
A rock. Yeah, literally.
A question I wanted to ask you. Have you been to Hanging Rock?
I've never actually been.
Because I have been to Hanging Rock.
Oh, cool. Okay, so how does it compare?
It was probably before I was even in high school. I went to Hanging Rock. I was maybe 12 to 10, somewhere in that age range. I think I was double digits. Who's to say?
And when you went, was there like large amounts of sub bass and like ominous like ambient noises happening? And then...
I did find it amusing to have in the beginning credits, there is someone credited for, I think it's pan flute in French or something. And I went, I wonder why they called out the pan flute specifically, only to be answered 5 minutes later when the rest of the movie is just underscored by flute for the rest of the whole time.
It's like, oh, right. Makes sense that he's on top billing.
This guy really just kind of it might have been a girl. I can't remember whose name it was. No, it's a rock.
I sometimes think about this with really sort of out there concepts. How do you actually think of this as a concept? Like maybe it's based on, when you go out as a child into like unknown territory and the landscapes look ominous and maybe that's how it stems from it. But yeah, it's such an interesting, really sort of esoteric, as you say, concept. All of the aspects here are firing on all cylinders to give that uneasy vibe, in terms of the music. The performances in this movie, they're so slanted. Do you know what I mean? They're just a little bit off. And that's like what I love about it.
I was pissing myself laughing with the British guy, the British like carriage boy or whatever he was, the one who ends up sleeping at Hanging Rock, and his performance when he's first questioned by the police is the most like, just hang this guy already. He did it. He did, obviously. Obviously he didn't actually, but if anyone spoke to me in that way normally, I would think, what are you hiding from me, man? Like,
guilty. He's like one of those characters in LA Noire. I don't know if you played LA Noire, but it's like the one that's like obviously lying,
looks left and right with like, and kind of raises the eyebrows a couple of times, and you kind of just go, you're lying to me, brother.
Oh man, I love LA Noire. We should, it's a shame we're not talking about games on this pod, but yeah, it's one of my favorites because it was made in Sydney.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it was made in Sydney.
Maybe
anyway,
we could do games. Who's to say?
But yeah, like I think the performances here, they're off, but like that's what I love about it. A lot of it's very theatrical and it's very calculated, and I absolutely loved the performance of of Margaret Nelson, who plays Sarah in this. You feel so empathetic for this character. She's an orphan and she's gone to this boarding school and she isn't accepted. And
she's
there's
also a lesbian.
She's also a lesbian,
and
her
it's
lover
disappeared in the
and
rock.
her lover disappeared, and it's actually over. And this is how you make an audience feel for a character.
It's
Do
the
you know what I mean?
Harry Potter school of making you like a kid character and just make their life absolutely miserable, and anyone will like the kid because no one wants to see a kid miserable.
I'm sure that audiences would have picked up the homosexual allegories here back in the day, but I think here it's such a great inclusion that it just feels so ahead of its time, even though the film is set in 1900.
I do think it's really funny though at the start when they're introducing all the young women, and Sarah and Miranda are in their rooms hanging out,
just chilling,
and Miranda goes, "Oh, Sarah, you must come back with me to Queensland. You'd love to meet my parents." And then not a mere moment later, "You have to learn to love someone else, Sarah. I'm not going to be around forever." And Sarah's just kind of, you can see Sarah reeling from the tonal whiplash of the conversation.
Yeah, it's literally just like
the goddess of mixed messaging.
It's like modern romance. The mixed signals are going off the chain,
Oh, dude,
brother.
it's like when I like someone on Hinge and then they like me back, but then they don't reply to any of the messages I send them. It's like, what is going on here? Did you like me or not?
This isn't your personal venting space, Mitch Hale.
You're right.
Gosh.
You're right.
Anyway, but yeah, and then the other performance that I think is on the level of Sarah is the performer who plays Miss Appleyard, Rachel Roberts.
Insane name, by the way, Miss Appleyard.
When it said Appleyard Manor, I didn't realize that the literal headmistress would be
she
called
was
Miss
Appleyard,
Appleyard.
yeah.
That's like calling the dean of Harvard Miss Harvard. It's like what's happening? Or Miss RMIT.
It's Mr. Melbourne High.
It's Mr. Box Hill TAFE.
Mr. Holmes Glen.
Yeah, Rachel Roberts' performance is absolutely fantastic. And one bit that absolutely floored me at the very end is when we see, and this is spoilers. Oh my gosh, spoilers for this movie.
Yeah, we kind of forgot to say spoilers.
Yeah, that's all right. This is like the ending part.
I don't think we said anything quite spoilery quite yet.
No, not yet, but it's okay.
Yeah.
When Sarah has been ordered to leave, right?
Yeah.
And so like this is the final nail in the coffin. She's at the end of her rope pretty much, and the teachers, they see her dead body and they come and notify Miss Appleyard.
Yeah.
And she's already in the funeral attire as they open the door. What a fantastic visual way of displaying this character's internal conflict.
And then because it also furthers kind of the conflict between Miss Appleyard and Sarah throughout the film, because Sarah's
100%.
broke as crap and Miss Appleyard's going, "Oh, this isn't a charity, you have to pay, no more dancing lessons for you, Miss Sarah." I think the issue though is that it's a hard movie to talk about because in regards to plot, not a lot happens.
Perhaps that ambience and that atmospheric aspect of the movie means that it does get a little bit difficult to follow in that sense.
It's like hit a wall for sure.
Yeah, because you're not really sure like what's real and what's happening. Like the moment in particular when the girls go missing. I know this is so pea-brained of me, but it's like it's not explained to me like why they're trekking out, why they're going up this rock. Like what is causing this conflict, I guess, like this inciting incident. And I guess you zone out just a little bit.
My read of that was that it started off with them just wanting to do the childlike thing of explore. You know, the young women, they want to go check and crap out.
They want to have a frolic, mate.
They want to check out the rock that hangs. Yeah. And I think the idea is, the reason why I said earlier that I think the spirits of the rock called to them is because they all kind of fall asleep on the rock.
Yeah.
But my issue there is the teacher didn't fall asleep on the rock. Did she even fall asleep? She was just reading a book about trigonometry.
Yeah, and then the next we see her, she's
not there. She's just gone. Right?
She just pissed out. She just left.
Like
she
left the server without saying
exactly.
goodbye.
She hard exited from the Discord call.
Yeah. I was under the impression that one of these, either the book or the movie, hinted more to supernatural crap going on than the other.
Yeah. There has to be some sort of supernatural force behind this.
Yeah, and if this is the one that hints the most at supernatural crap, I'm so curious with the book.
Yeah, right.
But also it could be the other way around, that the book is actually the one that hints more at supernatural crap. Because this one, it doesn't really. Like, it's not that supernatural.
It plays the supernatural elements as commonplace. Like, it's just like, oh yeah, of course the kids would fall asleep on a rock and then decide to walk into rock and disappear.
They just entered
Like,
the rock.
idiot.
Yeah. And then there's the whole thing of like, because then they add in the thing of both the young woman who returns, the only one of the people who go missing who returns, she's missing a corset and she's undressed in a certain way, like not horrifically so, but she is missing articles of clothing. And the young woman who was really unkindly called the dumpy one by one of the characters in this movie.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No.
Hashtag that was a 70s, trend of the 70s.
Well, I assume it was like the 70s trying to represent the 1900s.
Let's finger wag at this movie right now.
Shaking my head while watching Picnic at
podcast.
Hanging Rock so that people know that I disagree with the way they described one girl.
Performative movie watcher moment.
Just in my own room.
It is genuinely unfortunate, but like, yeah.
It heavily implies like a sexual nature to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which,
and they even, in a scene, they even discuss like whether
were
that's
they
a possibility.
attacked? And then when the young woman returns, the doctor's like, well, everything's intact, which I assume means her hymen was still there or something. One of the things that Australian cinema hits as a stereotype is this like idea of, it's like basically sad porn, like everything's just sad and depressing. That's not the terminology, and it'll come back up in another episode. I'll actually remember the
whole don't you feel bad thing.
Yeah, but like, you feel
pain,
crap
blah,
watching
blah,
this,
blah.
don't you? And like a lot of that will contain naughty sexy things, because that's a really easy way for an audience to feel grotty, is a naughty sexy thing to occur. And so this movie kind of like almost goes there, but it then deliberately looks at the audience and goes, we're actually not going there, but we thought we made you think we were going to, though. Psyched you out. You thought. And I mean, I'm glad that they didn't, because I don't need to see that. I'm glad that,
especially considering the subject matter and the characters involved. I'm glad it didn't go in that direction. And I know I just said that the open-endedness of it makes it a bit hard to follow, but at the same time, it keeps you guessing. It really keeps you on your toes, and you're not sure what's going to happen next. Like when the two boys go to Hanging Rock to find the girls, I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, are they gonna disappear now too?
Yeah.
Like, and then they find Irma's character, and just Irma's character, and no signs of the other ones. And it's
she's missing a memory, and it's, what is going on?
It's such a confusing watch, and I kind of love that as like it plays with the audience. I
do enjoy it. I think you need to be in the mood for it, though.
Yeah.
If you go into this and you're not in the mood to be confused, I think you're going to have a really bad time. If we asked Peter Weir and he told us what he thought happened in Picnic at Hanging Rock, maybe the novel itself has more of an answer in it. And it's kind of interesting to have a mystery that no one knows the answer to. I mean, obviously someone could. Peter Weir could maybe have an answer, but yeah, it doesn't feel like he does.
It keeps the audience asking questions, and maybe that's why the film has stayed in the public consciousness for so long, and why the actual narrative of the film, like, I thought this was a real event. I thought this really happened. Because I'll be honest, no, sincerely, like, because like,
I get it. If I'd watched this, I would have been like, I would have looked up, is this based on a real story?
Yeah, is this real? In Australian history, there are events like this that have happened, like the Luna Park ghost train fire, or like different parts of Australian history.
Deep cut reference.
Yeah, sorry, we're going really topical with this one.
International audiences are confused.
Look it up though; it's really interesting. It's like really, really niche and specific mysteries happen. The idea that 3 schoolgirls in 1900 pre-Federation Australia go missing at a rock and are never seen again,
and one of them rocking back up and not remembering anything. Like I believe that. I would go, that sounds pretty Aussie to me.
Mate, that's just me on a Saturday night, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but too many nangs.
But the other thing that I think is really interesting about this is its time period being set in 1900.
Yeah. What day was Federation? Do we remember?
I think it was New Year's Day, 1901.
So it's like less than a year before the Federation of the country. Australia is currently not Australia. It's a mixture of the states and the territories all kind of work independent of each other, which in a way we still kind of do, but there's a federal government that now overrules everything.
But yeah, everything's so prim and proper, and so having this supernatural inciting incident, none of these people know what to do.
No, because they're so cut off from the rest of civilization. And it's so interesting because one of the things I noticed was just kind of this mixture of prim and proper British person with just the outback is such a juxtaposition of
Yeah,
style
exactly.
and
And
vibe.
it's like an inspiration for future films. Like I'm not a massive fan of the film, but I mean Baz Luhrmann's Australia like takes a note out of that book 100%. And like
which we
other
will be
films,
watching. That is
we
on our
definitely
list.
will be.
Yeah.
But it is such an interesting subsect of Australian history, that pre-Federation period. It's the Wild West, essentially.
It's like the fear of the unknown. Not to use a term that's a bit loaded, but it's like it's really pushing the terra nullius of the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
which
100%.
is a loaded term because of what it means, but I think it's still a theme that runs throughout history, that this is a land that no one owns and you get lost in it.
This has been a very thematic episode. We're talking a lot about the themes and what it all means, but I think another really strong aspect of this movie for me is like that cinematography. The way that Peter Weir and his cinematographer, whom I do not know, unfortunately.
Russell Boyd,
thank you. That's why we get someone to do research each week. How they're able to frame it through low angle shots. It's just fantastic. Like they keep returning to this symmetrical shot. I think it's of like 3 rocky,
like it makes a canyon type.
Yeah, it makes like a canyon, and it's looking up at it, and that static shot says everything you need to show about how imposing this landmark is, you know?
It's like a beacon to an alien world. This reads kind of like the start of 2001.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
With like
100%.
the obelisk.
It's carving alien through human landscape. And I think that it says everything that dialogue would be able to, but in a much shorter period of time and a more creative way, which is what the filmic medium's all about. So I really appreciated that from the cinematography perspective.
Is good.
It's good. It's a good movie. I do think, and I'm sorry for being a hater of a timeless Australian classic.
Be a hater.
It is a bit too open-ended for me. I like
a little bit of closure, right?
A little bit, just a little bit of closure. Just getting an answer for something. I don't need to know what happened to the girls. I don't need to know. I just love to know what that rock do.
What that rock do? I do think it's very funny because you mentioned how imposing it is made through some very brilliant cinematography, and I've been there. I don't remember it being that big. I think
this is a medium-sized hanging rock.
It's not a small rock, all right. It's decent size, but it ain't no Uluru. Is all I'm saying.
It ain't no Uluru, mate. We got to go for the man from Hong Kong for that. That's a reference. They fight on Uluru, like the final Hong Kong fighters on Uluru.
I haven't seen it.
It's cool. We'll get there. Cinematography and sound design are king in this movie. Dialogue, I don't know, like it's serviceable, but I think the visual is where this film is at.
The dialogue I felt was designed to be dreamlike, and if it's working, it pisses me off, and if it's not working, it pisses me off. It reminds me a lot of some of the worst parts of the prequel trilogy of Star Wars films.
It always goes back to Star Wars, doesn't it? It's just
I just hate Star Wars. No.
Yeah, like dialogue at its core is about explaining something and getting a point across. And so if dialogue isn't doing that, it can work, but most of the time it's like, well, what was the purpose of that when a visual could take its place?
And it's not like I was listening to the dialogue in Picnic and Hanging Rock and being like
cringe ratio
and red pilled and you suck and I hate you ?
Franchise ruined.
No, it's not like I hated it. And I was being a bit of a hyperbolic young lad before, but it is a bit just, I don't like dreamlike dialogue. It's something that I had to realize after a long while trying to figure out why certain movies frustrated me, and I think I like it when dialogue is more grounded.
I think that's just something that held it back from me from being great in my view. But like again, like I see why this is a timeless classic. The iconography's there, the Australianness is there, that's for sure, which is mind-blowing considering the time period this film's set in and how it's, you know, pre-Federation, inherently British. It is Australian at its core. And yeah, I think it's rightfully propped up as such. Mitch, what is the most Australian thing about Picnic and Hanging Rock?
I do have two again, very short. Right. So one of them is being attacked by a swarm of budgies as you open the gate to let someone in. Yes. And the other one is being warned about snakes every 20 minutes when going out into the bush.
And being swarmed by birds. It's just always the cheese board, mate. You got a cheese board. They
It
swarm
is. Oh,
for it, mate.
freaking!
It's
You've got that charcuterie
Yeah,
board, brother.
yeah.
You are not alone. You have 17 million magpies,
like a
or
hawk,
cockatoos.
literally. You know.
Yeah.
It's-
I mean, we don't have hawks, but do we have? No, we do have hawks.
we
I'm
have
an
the
idiot.
Hawthorn Hawks, the football team.
Do we have actual hawks in Australia though? I know we
I
have
don't know.
eagles because we have that massive frick off eagle. That
We have the West Coast Eagles as
No,
well. I'm
not
talking
the-
about that. Oh, okay.
Stop it! Stop! I'm
Okay,
not talking
sorry.
about those eagles. I'm
They're
talking about
from the
real
AFL.
eagles. It's like a really mean eagle because it's really funny because the eagle in America is like a glorified pigeon in comparison to our eagle.
Yeah, we have the
on
real Eagles.
Australian eagle.
Ornithology. This is what you signed up for our podcast.
The wedge-tailed. The wedge-tailed is a screwed up bird. Apparently, it's actually a no. Like it's just a very violent bird.
And it's Australian.
And it's Australian. We have them here. Yeah,
Mate, it fits right in. We're very violent people.
I mean, according to 3 of the films we've watched.
Yeah, true. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's true.
Or at least 2 of them.
This is a classic. How can we say otherwise?
Look, it's good. It's not my favorite. I think it's come across that we both really appreciate what it does as a piece of
man.
cinema. Like we appreciate its space, and I don't think either of us begrudge its place in the Australian canon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it the best Australian film? I don't even think it's the best one we've watched so far. Like,
well, I was about to say we're only up to episode 4, man. We've got a while to go.
I reckon my favorite so far has still been True History.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Although I liked We Bury the Dead, but you know,
We Bury the Dead.
There's many, many more that will go down the line, and but you know what, man? All I'm gonna say is that Peter Weir, I think he's got something in him,
and we'll definitely be revisiting him.
Yes, he is Aussie director. Top 5
extraordinaire.
Yeah, he is the Michael Jordan of movie.
Well, that's crazy because we have George Miller. It's like George Miller is the Michael Jordan.
Baz Luhrmann. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Not to like besmirch any Australian, but I've never really seen a Baz Luhrmann movie that I've fully enjoyed.
Well, mate, wait till you see Strictly Ballroom. Anyway,
actually, my dad said that was a good one. Yeah,
it's a really, really good one. Maybe we should watch that next week. Do you want to watch Strictly Ballroom?
All right, that's what we're doing. We're watching Strictly Ballroom next week, live on air. We've decided it. Strictly Ballroom next week.
Strictly Ballroom, making it happen, locking it in. Man, I've had fun today, Mitch.
I've had a great time too.
I hope you guys have had fun too listening to us. We will see you next week for Strictly Ballroom.
Exactly. And you can now email us at undersouthernscreenspod@gmail.com. Send us funny photos, send us requests for films that you want us to cover.
Just like join in the conversation because we love to hear what other people think of films like Picnic at Hanging Rock because they are so sort of open-ended and exploratory.
Exactly.
And it starts a conversation, as it were. So shoot us an email. Follow us on all the socials if you like.
We are on X, TikTok, Insta, and Threads at Under Southern Screens Pod.
Delicioso.
Links will be in bio, so don't stress. And also, we'll put our Letterboxd. You can track what we're going to do by what I'm watching because I refuse to stagger my entries.
Yeah, it's right, mate. We're dedicated on the Letterboxd logging. It's
I can't not be truthful on Letterboxd. I watched Superman like 5 times last year and I wanted to lie because I didn't want people to see how many times I'd seen it, and I couldn't lie to Letterboxd.
Loud and Proud. It's a great movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah. Look, there's worse movies to watch 5 times in 1 year.
Anyway, we'll see you guys next week for another episode of Under Southern Screens. We hope you have a great week.
And stay under those southern screens. Is that what we say? I can't remember.
Stay under those southern screens? Yeah, that works.
Keep under those. Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching those under southern. Fuck.
Crash you guys. See you next week. Thanks for listening to another episode of Under Southern Screens. We'll be back next week to talk more films down under. We just want to attribute that our opening title is Heavy Duty by Zoo, and our closing title is Heavyweight by Fell Creek. Thanks so much for listening, and Mitch and I will see you in the next episode. See you next time. Under Southern Screens would like to acknowledge the stolen lands on which this podcast is recorded and produced, and pay tribute to the Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation and Camaragal people of the Eora Nation.
Sovereignty was never ceded, and we pay respect to all Indigenous elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.